Well, hello. I'm Nathan Shags McLeod.
And I'm Trevor Morgan from 96.7 KCMQ Morning Shag.
Welcome to the Conservation Federation of Missouri's Nightly News.
Awards banquet, award ceremony.
Then why are we sitting here like a newscast?
Because we're professional.
Yeah, we are professional. The nice thing about this newscast is I can envision and hear the laughter at my jokes, but when we used to do it live, all I heard was groans.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
This is much better. You hear that laughter?
Sweet, sweet music.
It's all for me.
We have a lot of awards and scholarships and everything to get to tonight. Let's get to it. Our first award this evening is for Outstanding Lifetime Achievement. He has been the embodiment of the voice of Missouri outdoors. In 1973, he established the River Hills Traveler Outdoor Journal. He would serve as editor and publisher for 40 years. He was a strong advocate and was involved in the establishment of Missouri's first wilderness areas. Sharing his outdoor story has been his lifetime achievement. Outstanding Lifetime Achievement Award goes to Bob Todd.
And I want to thank you guys for all of this, and for especially this award. This means a lot to me, because I don't know. I just feel like it's my contribution to this state. And it's a good thing, because it's something that we all adhere to, and I'm running on fumes. Well, it's something that we'll all remember, that we do something as good as this, and it's always going to be a reward. And our thanks to you. You're taking good care of good program. That's beyond.
Okay. Our next award is the Conservation Communicator of the Year, which both Trevor and I have won.
Oh yeah.
So you're in good company. He's a father, an 8th grade science teacher in Blue Springs. He's also the Show Me Fly guy. He really dove into his communication efforts in 2017, has since acquired quite the following on social media, and has become what some might call an influencer in Missouri outdoors and even beyond. Now, in today's day and age of COVID and virtual learning, the Show Me Fly guy is excelling, engaging new audiences, and exposing new people to the great outdoors. Please make some noise from your living room and your couch for our Conservation Communicator of the Year, the Show Me Fly guy, Tyler Dykes.
Thank you very much, Conservation Federation of Missouri, for this incredible honor. Thank you also for being the voice of conservation, both in the past, the present, and surely in the future. Thank you also for creating awards like this that recognize the efforts of others. It's appreciated more than you know. Thank you also to Colton Zirkle. If you don't know Colton, he's the one who nominated me, and his generosity and thoughtfulness has no bounds. And his nomination of me was just a great example of that, and it's appreciated. Thank you also, Tyler Schwartz. You're a good friend and fraternity brother, and thank you for getting me involved with Conservation Federation of Missouri about a year ago. I also want to thank my parents, my girlfriend Wendy, my sons, and my friends for supporting my writing and sharing my work with others and always encouraging me to use my voice and have a voice. They always share their appreciation for my work, and it means more than they know. It's an honor to be named Conservation Communicator of the Year. Whenever I write or share videos or photographs, I try to check 3 boxes. Is it personal? Is it positive? And does it promote conservation? If it doesn't check those 3 boxes, then I have to wonder if it's worth sharing at all. For those of you who don't know me, I have 2 full-time jobs. My first one is I'm a middle school science teacher. I also sponsor an after-school fly fishing club. I want to make sure that my students can always fish, hike, and explore places in their communities, and we often go to Burr Oak Conservation Area and James A. Reed Conservation Area. I'm also a parent, but before that, I was blessed with parents and grandparents that encouraged me to hunt, fish, and appreciate nature in a respectful and thoughtful way. I want my sons and Wendy's son, Colin, to have an understanding and appreciation for the natural world because that is the real world. You can't get these experiences with a video game controller in your hand or with a screen in front of your face or in a climate-controlled setting. Without the efforts of others, the message of conservation dies. Protection, appreciation, and education of conservation is all of our responsibilities. We all have to communicate these ideals because conservation is learned and it's not inherent. Just go look at the trash in conservation areas or watch people abuse the laws and regulations that are set forth by the Department of Conservation. It's all of our jobs to communicate the importance of conservation because others did that for us. I am honored to accept this generous award, but that doesn't mean my voice is greater than anyone else's. We all have voices, and we can all use them in different ways. Thank you, CFM, again for this honor. It is my pleasure to accept it, and it will only fuel my fire to continue to promote conservation in the state of Missouri. Thank you.
Our next award is Corporate Conservationist of the Year. They have been owned and operated by the Riley family since 1936, and much like being brought up in an automotive tradition that spans across generations, brothers Mike, Kevin, and Carrie were instilled with the passion for the outdoors from a very young age. Their grandfather, who founded the dealership in 1936, passed away while doing one of the things he loves most in the world, fishing in Canada. Brought up to respect land, wildlife, and firearms, they have had many fond memories of shooting, hunting, and fishing with family and friends on their farm in Missouri and across the country. As life members of the Conservation Federation of Missouri, they continually support multiple wildlife organizations through their involvement in the Wildlife Turkey Federation, Ducks Unlimited, and countless other initiatives to sustain habitat and conservation efforts for generations to come. Congratulations to this year's Corporate Conservationist of the Year, Riley Auto Group.
I'm Mike Riley. I'm partners with my 2 brothers, Kevin and Carrie, in the Riley Auto Group here in Jeff City. And we really appreciate you honoring us with this award. Riley Chevrolet started in 1936 by my grandfather, who loved the outdoors, and just trickled down through my father to us. And we have a farm in Callaway County that we hunt and fish on, and just have a good time over there. Karen?
Yeah, well, we learned everything we really, I guess, and began to appreciate the rest of our lives from Dad, from hunting and fishing and enjoying the outdoors and just really had great memories of Dad as a kid and what he taught us to enjoy the outdoors and respect the outdoors. And
I remember one time when he was needed to have some heart surgery and didn't want to have it. And he told the doctor, he said, well, let's just wait until after turkey season. And the doctor wasn't having much with it. We decided to, Mom and I were there, and we said, we weren't having any luck convincing him to have this bypass surgery. And finally, the doctor came in with a closing line, and he said, Mr. Riley, I appreciate your love of turkey hunting and the outdoors, but he said, how do you think your sons would feel if they found you dead up against a tree while you're turkey hunting? So the next morning he had the surgery. And that's the kind of guy he was, and what he's taught us over the years of giving back to the community, giving back what we can do, you know, through the different outdoor associations, the Turkey Federation, Ducks Unlimited. This award has been something that we didn't expect, and we're definitely honored in accepting this award. We appreciate the Conservation Federation. We're life members. We've appreciated learning a lot from them, and then also the enjoyment of having friends and family over to the farm and being able to enjoy the outdoors and see what Mother Nature brings us. Almost every time you're out there, there's something different. And once again, we want to thank everyone out there, and being life members, we would appreciate the people that see this that aren't life members to maybe consider doing that and join us in a great association with the acceptance of this award. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Conservation Federation of Missouri, we're here today to present the Riley Auto Group with the Corporate Conservationist of the Year from the Conservation Federation of Missouri. Thank you guys for all your support over all the years.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Your next award is the Conservation Educator of the Year. This K-12 science coordinator for Columbia Public Schools has dedicated his life to delivering innovative teaching strategies and educational experiences that develop an appreciation and understanding of our natural world. He still guides the typical classroom experience, but has extended learning beyond the classroom. Hands-on immersion in nature is the first step to cementing the elements and importance of conservation in the psyche of students, so they understand, appreciate, and engage in the protection of wild places and wildlife. Your Conservation Educator of the Year, Mike Sidzlowski.
Hello, I'm Mike Sadlowski, and I am so thankful to be awarded the Conservation Educator of the Year from the Conservation Federation of Missouri. It was such a humbling honor, and I enjoy so much of what the Conservation Federation of Missouri stands for and in every other environmental and conservation group. My very favorite part of my job, which is a district science coordinator in Columbia, Missouri, is to work with students to get them out in nature. And what's shocking is, while so many of us, we spent all day and all evening until our parents called us in for dinner to be out in nature, and we finally had to come home. That's not always the case anymore. And when we take students out there, every single time we find that there are students that this is their first time in a forest, or sometimes it's even a little scary for them. It's cloudy and dark, and that is our goal, to break that barrier, to get them out there, but then really practice place-based education. And in place-based education, it just means we're going to teach the same science standards that we really always are supposed to teach in the entire state, entire country, but we're doing it with a nod towards our place, our community, our parks, our natural areas, and even our economy and culture. And one way we've done that is in Columbia, like many parts of Missouri, we have a honeysuckle problem. I've actually become, I can barely walk in the woods now without seeing it. And I've seen how it has changed the landscape of our community parks and state and conservation areas parks. And so we work with students, and we removed 2 million honeysuckle plants from Columbia, Missouri. Then we stopped counting, and we're still removing because we found we were spending too much time counting and not enough removing. And the kids love it. It's kind of like a stress relief, and it's an immediate gratification to improving their environment in their community. And I can give countless examples of where we have parks next to schools with trails that the teachers never took their kids because it was a grown jungle of honeysuckle. And now they are back out there every day they can, whether it's sometimes even raining or snowing, because we've opened that forest back up. And that's just one of the many ways that we are trying to help our environment. And again, I can't thank the Federation, Conservation Federation enough for supporting this. We need more educators to be doing these kind of missions. And then finally, I'd like to thank Bill Meese. I learned recently that he nominated me for this award, and I cannot say enough amazing things about Bill. I met Bill when he was president, and then he's done many other roles in the Columbia Audubon Society. And he was our first partner in education for the Columbia Public School Science Department to get us out and take every second grader, about 1,200 of them a year, into the nature sanctuary to do birding and bird banding and adaptation studies. And the teachers say that is their favorite field trip of the year for second grade. So thank you, Bill. Thank you, Conservation Federation. I hope many more people do the same kind of work and get their kids outside.
Our next award tonight, Conservation Organization of the Year. Their mission is to revitalize the lives of the citizens of the Heartland through life-changing experiences provided in a healthy and safe outdoor environment that enrich and support rural communities. In collaboration with the Missouri Department of Conservation, they have been providing hunting and fishing opportunities for youth, women, first responders, veterans, and many more since 2015. Despite the pandemic this year, they developed new programs that included over 650 participants. They recently entered into a partnership with Hope Outdoors to fulfill Dreams for Disadvantage and provided a duck and pheasant hunt for a terminally ill young man and his family. Congratulations, Conservation Organization of the Year, DUCKHORN Outdoor Adventures.
DUCKHORN Outdoors Adventures is pleased to accept this award from the Conservation Federation of Missouri, and we would like to thank them for all that they do for conservation in Missouri. We would like to thank our volunteers and our sponsors for making this possible.
This is such a great honor for us. It's humbling. We feel very honored. From the largest and oldest conservation agent in the state, this is truly an honor that we will cherish. We hope that the video we taped of one of our events this fall will show you the passion we have for all events we do at DUCKHORN. Thanks again to the Conservation Federation of Missouri.
A year ago yesterday, I had my first surgery for cancer being removed from my mouth. And ever since then, it's been a battle.
Had what's called epithelioid sarcoma. And they removed about 2/3 of his tongue, all the lymph nodes in his neck. And we thought we were done at that. We thought we got it, we beat it, we hadn't.
Throughout the year, we keep thinking he's going to heal. We keep thinking he's on the right path medically. And then he takes another turn.
And unfortunately, it's now back in his lungs and his brain. It's been a rough year, for sure.
The one thing that Steele could do after surgeries, after the tongue replacement surgery, after the brain tumor, is he could get outside.
My whole life I've been raised hunting. I started since I was, 4 or 5 years old, going with my dad. And just always loved it my whole life, everything about it.
He's always, since he was little, would rather be outside hunting and fishing, that kind of thing, than playing a video game. I mean, it's just in his nature, it's just in his blood.
How did we get hooked up with Kerwin Steele and his family? We didn't know them at all. In fact, they're from Virginia. We were told there was a youngster who was struggling with a very difficult cancer diagnosis. We try to reach out to people in need, and we're trying to improve the quality of life in our rural communities.
And so that's how the whole ball got rolling, and it sounded like it went pretty quick once they heard his story and what we were trying to do, get him some good duck hunting.
Crazy. Imagine that they would do that for us.
They, flew us out here, and they have spoiled us. I mean, from the very moment that we got off the airplane.
We've never been able to duck hunt and actually have any success together, and they just, they absolutely made it happen. and the pheasant hunting was a bonus. I mean, we were that wasn't his goal, that wasn't our goal. That was just, you know, an additional blessing and part of what they do here at Duckhorn. Just started with take your breath away, and it hadn't let up since.
There's something in here that calms the beast when you're outside, and if we can help provide people with that, you know, life is messy. If you can give people just one good day, if you can take one good day and make it a little unmessier, that's a good thing.
Whenever you're going through anything like tough, getting in the outdoors, and there's nothing better than it. No matter what you're going through, and getting you out there and getting the experience.
And he even said yesterday he was getting used to this, of being the center of attention and getting pampered and spoiled a little bit. And they have been so generous in giving him just special heirlooms and treasures that he will take back home with him and keep forever.
This event for me this weekend was really special, I think, and it was a special family, and we got to meet a family from halfway across the country that is just like the rest of us. And so we've gotten really close with them. I know my son Hayden's gotten really close with their son Steele, and it was just an amazing weekend all the way around.
It's hard to compare it to anything. It was just crazy and awesome and the funnest thing ever.
I think Steele has smiled more this weekend than he has in a while.
This trip is the first time in a while that we haven't had to worry about doctor's appointments. It's given him Steele the ability, you know, to just enjoy himself and not worry about what he's got going on.
We feel good about helping this family with the struggles that they're having, and it's a good thing for everybody. And I think it's safe to say that Duckhorn Outdoors Adventures now has a new set of friends in Richmond, Virginia. So
certainly the facilities are spectacular. Ridiculous how luxurious they are, so that they can get everybody and anybody the opportunity to hunt. But it's not about the hunt, but it's about the people loving other people and just, you know, showing love to people who need it. Duckhorn Outdoor Adventures, thank you for blessing us with the opportunity to come out here, to be able to get away from our world for just a little while.
Every single person that we've met and that has been out here for us has just all been so nice and generous, and can't thank them enough. Memories of a lifetime.
We now award the Professional Conservationist of the Year. The winner is the branch chief of the Resource Science Division at the Missouri Department of Conservation. His work has improved our white-tailed deer herd, provided local, state, and national leadership related to cervid health and chronic wasting disease management, and overall agency relevancy here in Missouri. He currently leads a staff of approximately 100 employees involved in fish, forest, and wildlife research and management across Missouri and beyond. He has exemplified what it means to be a conservation professional, and we are fortunate to have him, his talents, and his energy here in Missouri. The Professional Conservationist of the Year, Jason Sumners.
Good evening. Thank you. It's truly humbling to be recognized as CFM's Professional Conservationist of the Year. I'd be remiss if I didn't start with a special thank you to my family, particularly to my wife, for allowing me to follow this great passion that I have for the work of conservation. You know, Teddy Roosevelt famously said, far and away, you know, the best prize in life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing. And I can't help but think that, you know, with his long legacy, that his words, he was thinking about the work of conservation. It truly is humbling to have this as a lifelong pursuit. You know, over the last several years, we've faced some pretty significant conservation challenges, you know, including, you know, the work to limit the spread of chronic wasting disease, or more recently, you know, the opportunity to to figure out how we, as state fish and wildlife agencies, continue to remain relevant to our diverse stakeholders, just to name a few. It's only been possible, through the strong support and dedication of some of the most amazing conservation professionals in the country, whether they're MDC employees or the number of the amazing partners we get to work with on a nearly daily basis across the state. I'd say a special thank you to Tom Draper, Mike Hubbard, and Lonnie Hansen for being not only great bosses, but amazing lifelong mentors and friends. Add a special thank you to Director Polly for her unwavering support and giving me numerous opportunities, both here in Missouri, but across the country. And to Tyler, Brandon, and Dave that have come before you, the support of the Conservation Federation means a tremendous amount to me. The working relationship that MDC and CFM has is unique and truly the envy of the country. I close by saying this type of recognition usually goes to someone who's been around for a long time. And while I know I'm not a spring chicken anymore, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. And so I look forward to the many more years working alongside CFM and its amazing affiliate members as we work hard to maintain and ensure Missouri's conservation legacy remains strong into the future. So thanks again, and have a great evening.
Our next award tonight is Water Conservationist of the Year. He fashioned his own career as a conservation professional around a niche that he saw a need for: cost-effective, nature-based stream and wetland reservation. The company he built along with friends and family, Wildscape Environmental, quickly became the go-to river healers for Southwest Missouri. His passion for conservation was just as prominent in his personal life as it was in his professional life. His wife and young children pursued outdoor adventures across the country and in their own backyard. He frequently volunteered at the Watershed Committee of the Ozarks and was involved in the Watershed Conservation Corps on 3 recent projects so Corps members could gain experience using native plants in wild and landscape contexts. Although we lost him in August, he had a tremendously positive impact on the people and places he touched. The Water Conservationist of the Year is Zeke Keene, accepting his wife Tiffany.
Hi, I'm Tiffany Keene.
I'm Emma Keene.
I'm Zeke's wife, and this is our daughter Emma. We have a little boy, Hudson. He's 4, and he's running around the house like crazy, so we're gonna let him do that. We just wanted to take the time to say thank you guys so much for Zeke's nomination and recognition in winning the award for Water Conservationist of the Year. I wanted to say thank you to Mike Cromrie and all of the other people who helped to put in the application and the nomination for him. He would be so honored to have gotten this award. It means a lot to us guys, and we really appreciate it. For those of you who do not know, we lost Zeke in August of 2020, and we miss him a lot every day. And so we just really appreciate the honoring way that you guys are recognizing all of the hard work and his passion. He loved to be outside. He loved to help people. He loved to help people learn about the great outdoors, and just feel like anytime we were doing anything as a family, it was outside, whether it be on our farm, just having a picnic, or we like to go camping a lot. He just loved to get people passionate about the things that he was passionate about, and conservation was definitely one of those. I know even from an early age, so it's just really neat that he gets this as a really cool recognition for all of his hard work. So, Emma, what was one of your fondest memories? What did you like to do with Daddy?
I like to build little dams on our land.
Yeah.
And once we got that done, we would send out little ferry boats. We would make little ferry boats with like wood and any stuff we could find, and we would set down the river. That would be really fun.
Yeah, I remember a lot of times you guys came home really muddy.
And really wet.
Soaking wet, but you guys would always have a good time. So
it was worth it.
Totally worth it. Totally worth it. We just appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much for the recognition and for honoring him and honoring us as a family. It's such a beautiful legacy to help us build for my kids, for our kids, for our families, and for the people that he loved and cared about and worked with. Thank you to the people at the Conservation Department, the people at the Watershed Committee who loved on him and helped to kind of mold him over the years. We just really appreciate everybody, and we're just so thankful. Thank you guys for everything. God bless y'all and have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Our next award is the Conservation Legislator of the Year. This winner represented part of the City of Columbia and Boone County in the Missouri House of Representatives. He was first elected in November of 2014 and served through 2020. Currently serves as the Chief of Staff to Senator Greg Razor. He was instrumental in advocating for Missouri conservation and natural resource efforts while in the House, especially as a member of the House Budget Committee. As an avid outdoorsman, he understands the importance of protecting the many outdoor resources in Missouri for current and future generations to enjoy. Your winner of Conservation Legislator of the Year, Representative Kip Kendrick.
Truly an honor to receive this award from Conservation Federation. I served 6 years in the House, and from day one, really, before I started, I knew that protecting the Conservation Department, protecting public lands was going to be a top priority for me. Growing up in Northeast Missouri, hunting and fishing with my dad, my uncles, my grandpas, it really instilled for me very early on the importance of public lands, the importance of a healthy wildlife in order for, not just for, recreational activities, but also for your economy. I mean, that was such a big boom to the local area every year, every time, all the family got together to go deer hunting. And, I've had the pleasure of representing parts of Columbia, the city of Columbia, for the last 6 years in the House, and it was no different there. It was still very much a district that was, saw the importance of public land as critical, as a top priority for me in the General Assembly. So it was just a natural fit for me to continue to do what I can for the department. And serving as the ranking minority member for the last 4.5 years on the House Budget Committee, I think put me in a very good position to assist the department and all conservation, the state parks, and wildlife in general. So having a family of my own now, my wife Sarah and I both get outside as often as we can. Our son Abram has grown up on public lands. We get out and hike every weekend. We camp as often as we can, and trying to again instill the importance of public lands, of getting out and appreciating nature in his mind and everything that he does. It's just, I can't stress enough the importance of public lands for us to be able to access nature, us to be able to access wildlife and the flora and fauna of the state. I would be remiss if I didn't thank my wife. She's an ornithologist and arguably a better hunter than I am. To this day, we want to thank CFM as well. Conservation Federation Missouri does wonderful things inside the Capitol, but also just around the state in general, raising awareness of important issues, fighting the battles when they need to be fought, but also just educating people, educating the General Assembly, which rapidly turns over anymore in the age of term limits. As I move on from the House, I'm now in a staff position, the Chief of Staff for Missouri State Senator, and moving into that role, I will see it as a continued priority for myself, and I know that it is a priority for the Senator to do all that we can to protect the public lands and wildlife moving forward. And so just really excited about the opportunity to continue my service inside the General Assembly in a staff role.
Continuing in our Conservation Legislator of the Year award, represented the 33rd District in the Missouri Senate, served as vice chair for the Senate Financial and Governmental Organizations and Elections Committee, was a member of the Commerce, Consumer Protection, Energy and Environmental Committee, and Governmental Accountability and Fiscal Oversight Committee, and the Veterans Affairs and Health Committee. He lives in Rogersville with his wife Nikki, has had 3 children, 5 grandchildren, and half a dozen bird dogs. Enjoys hunting, fishing, horseback riding, and canoeing. Congratulations to the Conservation Legislator of the Year, Senator Mike Cunningham.
I very much appreciate this award, and appreciate you coming along Zoom to do this in my own house, make it comfortable for me. I'm a very blessed person. I live across from a conservation area and surrounded by it. And someday this area might become part of that, which I would very much like. But to get this award means a lot to me. I hung out in Jeff City for 18 years. I'm term limited out now. But to get the award from the Federation just really means a whole lot to me. It seems a little strange, though. It almost seems like I ought to be giving the Federation a reward. And I realized how important they were to me this year, and fighting off people that did not understand conservation and realized how important it was in the state of Missouri and how important the Federation is to the Conservation Department and to all the citizens of the state of Missouri. So it's almost like it ought to be in reverse. I ought to be giving you an award for helping me doing the right thing and for all that you all do. And I never really became aware of what all you all do until I really got into it this year, fighting the fight to make sure that the right people ended up that would stand up for conservation and realize the importance of it for the state of Missouri and for our future residents. So from me, a great big thank you to the Conservation Federation of Missouri for all that you do and all that you've done, especially this past year and over the years that you all participate in. And I was very resentful of people trying to tear that down this year and that just didn't understand. We have, as you all know, the #1 conservation department, not just in, the Midwest, not just in the United States, not just in, America, but in the world. And that's nothing to be taken lightly. And over my 20 years up there, I fought with people, when you're #1, why don't you pick on something that we're number 49th on and make Missouri a better place? Let's stick away from the people that we're #1 on. So thank you all very much for what you do. This award is greatly appreciated, but I almost feel like I don't deserve it. It ought to be the reward in reverse for what you all do and what you will continue to do. I know the right thing for myself, the residents of Missouri, but more importantly for my grandkids and for their kids as they lead on. Thank you all very much for this.
And now it is time for the David A. Risberg Memorial Grant recipients.
The David Risberg Memorial Affiliate Grants are awarded by the Conservation Federation of Missouri in honor of David A. Risberg. The purpose of these grants is to provide an opportunity for affiliates to take action on conservation by implementing projects funded in whole or in part through this endowment.
$575 going to the Missouri Caves and Karst Conservancy for the Goodwin Sinkhole and Cave Restoration Project Karst Information Sign.
The Missouri Trappers Association awarded $850 funding to be used to support youth trapping clinics across the state.
$1,500 going to the Missouri Stream Team Watershed Coalition for stream team recruitment and stream education in the Scenic Rivers region.
$1,000 has been awarded to the National Wild Turkey Federation for their Governor's Youth Mentored Turkey Hunt, which is awesome.
Congratulations to the Missouri Prairie Foundation, $1,000 for the purchase of a UTV for annual use on prescribed burns on nearly 3,700 acres of remnant and reconstructed prairies across Missouri.
Congratulations to the Missouri Hunting Heritage Federation for getting $1,000 to purchase hunting gear and other equipment.
$500 awarded to the Missouri Smallmouth Alliance to help create world-class smallmouth fishing in Missouri signposting project.
Free the fighter. $1,000 going to the Missouri River Relief for their Missouri River cleanup with CFM and CLC, another amazing program.
Congratulations to the Missouri Grouse chapter of Quail and Upland Wildlife Federation, $1,250 for forest habitat for ruffed grouse, woodcock, songbirds, and all wildlife.
How about another $1,500 to the Missouri Coalition for the Environment for Known and Grown Farmer Conservation Mentorship Pilot?
Congratulations to the Missouri Master Naturalist, $2,000 for Naturalist Core Training.
This is awesome, giving this much money away when it's not ours,
right?
And it's going for a great cause.
Makes it easier.
$1,000 going to the James River Basin Partnership for cooperative invasive species monitoring and treatment within the James River Basin.
Congrats to Forest Releaf of Missouri, $1,500 for Community Canopy Crew, empowering youth to become environmental stewards.
Another $1,500 going to the Open Space Council for the St. Louis region for building a community of stewardship for the young conservation area.
$1,000 awarded to Wild Souls Wildlife Rescue and Rehabilitation for rescue outdoor enclosures.
And congratulations to the Watershed Conservation Corps for receiving $1,000 for creating ecologically performative and fiscally efficient green space at Lake Springfield Park.
That was a lot of big words that you just nailed.
Thank you. I thought the same thing.
Congratulations to Pheasants Forever Incorporated and Quail Forever, $825 for their Spring Creek Stewardship Project.
And finally, congratulations to the Little Blue River Watershed Coalition for receiving $1,000 for their Blue Valley Oxbow habitat restoration. And for you keeping track at home, that was $20,000 awarded to these amazing conservation affiliates.
He did not do that math in his head.
All right up here.
No. Congratulations to all of the recipients of the David A. Risberg Memorial Grants. And now on to the Student Conservation Achievement Award. Students who have completed at least 3 years as a member of the Conservation Federation of Missouri, Conservation Leadership Corps, and those who have attended at least 6 CLC events are eligible for a Student Conservation Achievement Award.
Congratulations to all our winners.
Now it's time for the 2021 Conservation Scholarship recipients. First up, the Ed Stegner Natural Resource Scholarship. The Conservation Federation of Missouri Charitable Trust Ed Stegner Natural Resource Scholarships were established to provide major financial aid and to encourage and assist students in 5 areas of natural resource management: fisheries, forestry, wildlife, parks and recreation, and soil and water conservation. Funding for this scholarship program was provided by the foundation by Ed Stegner of Pilot Grove, Missouri, a master conservationist. Stegner was the former executive director of the Conservation Federation of Missouri and was especially known for his leadership role in the passage of the 1/8 of 1% conservation sales tax. Congratulations to this year's winner.
Our next scholarship is the Carl Morrow Graduate Scholarship. Carl Morrow was the Vice President of the Missouri Power and Light in Jefferson City. He was a dedicated and longtime citizen conservationist who served in many volunteer positions with the Conservation Federation of Missouri and as the first chairman of the Conservation Foundation of Missouri Charitable Trust. The foundation honors his memory with this graduate scholarship program in 5 areas of natural resource management: fisheries, forestry, wildlife, parks and recreation, and soil and water conservation. Congratulations to this year's scholarship winners.
Now on to the Conservation Foundation Minority Scholarship. The Conservation Foundation's Minority Natural Resource Scholarship has been established to provide financial aid to encourage and assist minority students who are interested in a career in natural resource management, especially in the fields of fishery, wildlife, forestry, parks and recreation, and soil or water conservation. The Foundation's goal is to ultimately increase cultural diversity in the Missouri State and federal natural resource agencies. Congratulations to this year's winners.
Our next scholarship is the Charles P. Bell Conservation Scholarship. For 17 years, Charles P. Bell served as the treasurer for the Conservation Federation of Missouri, and also as the trustee and treasurer for the Conservation Foundation of Missouri Charitable Trust. He served as president of the Conservation Federation from 1988 to 1989. Following his passing in 1989, his family established a conservation education grant and scholarship program in his memory. The scholarship is from both the Conservation Federation of Missouri and the Conservation Foundation of Missouri Charitable Trust. Congratulations to this year's scholarship winners.
The next scholarship is the Kirkham Family Scholarship. This unique scholarship is possible because of the great generosity and personal commitment to the future of conservation of our past president, Judd Kirkham. This scholarship is intended to support the career development of a wildlife biologist at a Missouri school who is a CFM member and has a clearly designed path toward working with big game. Congratulations to this year's winner.
The next scholarship is the Chambers Family Memorial Scholarship. The Chambers Family Memorial Scholarship honors Glenn Chambers and his son Jim. Jim was a brilliant student and exceptionally fine musician. Glenn was a nationally recognized conservationist and was honored in many ways over the course of his lifetime. Glenn is a past president of CFM. The scholarship is from both the Conservation Federation of Missouri and the Missouri Conservation Heritage Foundation. Congratulations to this year's winners.
Our final scholarship awarded this evening is the Nana Family Scholarship. The Nana family supports conservation efforts in Missouri and beyond. The goal of this is to support ethnic diversity within natural resource management. Applicants should be an individual of ethnic minority and must be enrolled in a field of study related to management of natural resources, specifically fish, wildlife, forests, soil, and water at either the graduate or undergraduate level. Congratulations to this year's winners.
Congratulations to all our winners, and that concludes our scholarship portion of tonight. The one thing I was surprised most, though, not seeing my name on there.
Why would your name be on there?
I'd like to learn something.
You should go back to school then, and then maybe you can get one of these.
That's what I'm saying, exactly. Okay. I need a little help.
You need a lot of help.
You know, tonight's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's...
The one thing I miss the most, though, is hearing the laughs in person, because they are deafening at times.
Right, of course, yeah.
but also during the scholarships, those young up-and-coming conservationists, we always gave them high fives.
Yes.
I was like, good job.
Can't high five in 2021.
No,
Can't do
you
it.
cannot.
No.
So here's a virtual Zoom video high five to all our scholarship and award winners. Amazing work. And that concludes your Conservation Federation of Missouri's Nightly News. I'm Dan Rather.
And I'm Leslie Stahl. Thanks for watching. No, thank you very much for being here. I'm Trevor.
I'm Nathan Shags McLeod.
From 96.7 KCMQ, The Morning Shag. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.
Feel free to call me Dan Rather, though.